I've met a few of them. I've met the one across the street from me, and the one on my left side, and the one on my right side as well. Actually, right? Yeah, I do know my neighbors. I couldn't recognize them though in the store if I saw them, but I do know. I think I know them by. I don't know their name. No, I don't know them by name. I know them by this hat, this little this hat. One of them wears the same hat all the time. I know that hat.
I know some of my neighbors when I come back home, but I live next to my grandparents, so those are my neighbors.
We're acquainted with each other, but we don't hang out. Like, we'll talk and we'll say hi to each other, but I don't know them very well. And then, like, the people living around us, I don't really know any of them, don't really talk to them either.
I know a couple of them. I've only lived in my apartment for 6 months, but I know a couple of them. I'm gonna get all choked up. I know a couple of them, but I know more here at Chick-fil-A and in the neighborhood here.
I mean, we've talked to them a couple times. We've lived here for like 12 years, 14. Yeah, 14 years, and we still don't ever know them really.
One of them I do know because we go to class together, so it's student housing, so we know each other. But the other ones I don't know.
I didn't know my neighbors, but I didn't know that I didn't know my neighbors. All the neighbors that we had when the kids were growing up, we knew well, but there's been almost a complete turnover in our neighborhood. I started taking nugget trays to some of our neighbors, and it opened up dialogue. And we actually last Sunday had this amazing block party where 30 people in our neighborhood came together.
When I was little, I wanted to make some chocolate chip cookies, and I remember that there was no sugar and no eggs in our house, and so my mom told me, just go across the street and ask the neighbor to borrow some. And I remember asking her, really? Are you sure I can just go do that? She said, of course, there are neighbors. And you know, somewhere along the way, I think we lost that.
I remember when I was little, there was one neighborhood that I did know all like the neighbors, and we actually went out and played together. And you don't really see that now, so to be able to bring that back to neighborhoods, that'd be really good, especially for younger generations.
When I was a kid and I would be out playing, we'd be all over the block, all over everywhere, but everybody knew everybody. And my dad didn't even have to whistle to get us to come home, because we knew when the sun went down, we better be headed home or all the neighbors would be chasing us home.
What happened?
I just think that life got to going too fast. Everything got to going too fast, and everybody set different priorities.
You don't really think about it, you just go straight into your apartment and not even think about stopping and saying hi to people or trying to get to know people. Plus that awkward first step of, like you said, meeting somebody. Like, what do I say? Do I talk about the weather?
The world we live in is really fast, so we can't really make that connection with someone if we're going at a fast pace.
We're so connected in social media, and we think that's the relational pieces and we get connected with so many different people through social media, but we miss the face-to-face, old-time, one-on-one, real relationship building, where you see somebody's face and you see somebody's heart in their eyes. And sometimes it's full of joy, sometimes it's painful, and they need some help. And neighbors need help, and we want to foster that.
I think a lot of times with all the information at our fingertips, sometimes we start thinking that this is a big, scary world. And while there may be some truth to that, I think sometimes if we'll take that initial step, we'll knock on that door, we'll ring that doorbell, I think that we'll find that maybe what's behind that door is not quite as big and scary as what we had thought in our heads. And so I just hope that through this program, we can encourage people to get out there and to meet their neighbors. That's our goal, is to make relationships with people, and what better way than to encourage other people to make relationships with the people around them and with their neighbors, because that's our goal here, and that's what we do.
One of the things that we teach our team members is a stay connected piece and that caring and serving aspect of what we do. Now think about taking that and putting out in the community, serving our neighbors, serving our community in the ways we do here. Think about the changes that would happen.
You know, I think one of the things that Chick-fil-A is all about is making an impact on everyone that comes in contact with our restaurant. And so what does it look like when we're able to take that concept and take it outside the brick and mortar? What does that look like when we're able to go into our communities and say, hey, here's a chicken sandwich if you just meet your neighbor?
The relationships that have been built over the years are amazing. It's incredible. I can't believe that so many deep relationships have been fostered over a chicken sandwich and just a little bit of goodwill, being nice to people. It goes a long way.
I'd actually love that, because imagine everyone in Austin just getting together, and it'd be amazing.
I don't have to necessarily go overseas when there's somebody that's, probably 15 or 20 feet from me that I can start right there, even though it's uncomfortable, and we're all in that situation at times. It can be really uncomfortable and very awkward.
Hi, I'm your neighbor. I've been your neighbor for about like 10 years now. No, we don't know each other, but let's get together sometime.
Initially, it starts with waving. We do a lot of waving. It's like, it's okay. Don't call the police. I'm unarmed.
It's about getting to know through questions and gifts, and then that generally builds a little trust, builds somewhat of a trust with neighbors, wanting to get to know each other a little bit better and opening up their heart to receive what we might be able to do to help each other.
What we teach our team members is that every conversation that you have is the opportunity to change somebody's day. You control your ability to actually have an impact on that person's day, because you don't know how that person's day is going. So I would say each door that you knock on is an opportunity for you to change someone's day.
My advice would be do it. Life's too short to be scared to finally meet new people.
You never know what can happen. I've heard some amazing stories. I've experienced some amazing stories, some things. How much time we had? You want to hear a few of them?